So what were we talking about?
Spooky movies, man.
Spooky movies.
Spooky movies. The best spooky movie ever, Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island.
That was a good one.
That
This
was
was like the cult, right? There's like a zombie cult.
It was everything, man.
Everything
It
was
was
on.
they were in Louisiana, there were werewolves, there were vampires, there were zombies. It was great.
You know, the only part of that movie that stuck with me throughout the years, is there's a scene where Fred's eating pork. Do you remember that?
I think.
He's like cutting pork and then eating it, and he's like, this is the best pork ever." And that's the only,
That's it?
That's it. And I remember thinking, that does look like good pork, even though it's an animated movie.
Right. That's funny.
That's the only thing I remember from that movie.
I remember, that movie came out when I was like 6 or 7. And it was the first time that they had tried to keep like a quote unquote continuity with the 60s cartoon.
Oh, really?
The band had broken up. Daphne became like a supernatural investigator. Like they all went their separate ways, and then they got back together for like this one big job, and it was the first time where the threat was real. Like I remember the one scene where they hit a zombie and they thought it was a guy in a mask, and they try to pull the mask off and his head comes off.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Don't remember how it ended, but I remember really enjoying it.
Did that movie tie into the other animated, like Scooby-Doo and the Reluctant Werewolf?
Probably. I think so.
That one I remember.
I didn't see that.
And
the Reluctant Werewolf?
Scooby-Doo, yeah, it's where Shaggy becomes a werewolf.
Oh, that's funny.
I don't remember. I guess he gets bitten by a wolf. I don't remember. And then Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Ghost, something like that.
I know of
Cyber Attack.
I know of that movie, but I didn't watch it.
Yeah. And then there's Scooby-Doo meets Batman. Those are the movies I remember the most.
Nice. And then, the home run James Gunn movies.
Those were home runs, yeah.
Yeah, but I think he only wrote those. I don't think he directed. Or
yeah.
did he?
No.
Did he direct?
Wrote them. No, he wrote them. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, originally they were going to be PG-13. They filmed it to be PG-13.
Which would have been pretty rad.
Would have been. There were a lot more risque jokes.
Some of it still snuck in.
Sure, yeah.
Like Shaggy's love interest. Her name is Mary Jane.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Not too subtle.
So funny.
And then it's where their souls bounce into different bodies.
Oh, yeah,
and then Fred's Daphne, and he literally says, "I'm going to look at myself naked." It's like, whoa.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, fun. It was a fun movie.
Yeah, definitely.
Both of them.
Definitely fun. Definitely fun.
But yeah, speaking of like early childhood scary movies, like that are made for kids. Did you watch Goosebumps growing up?
Sure. Yeah. I watched a lot of Goosebumps. I read a lot of Goosebumps. I read a lot of Goosebumps. Yeah. No. Those were rad. Those were rad. I didn't see the movie with Jack Black, right? Or is he in? Yeah. He plays R.L. Stine.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that movie.
I didn't bother with those movies, but
yeah, it wasn't great. It was one of those movies where it's like they should have just made like it a Goosebumps episode or like an anthology, like different. That's what I think.
Right.
But instead they try to,
that's kind of what the original show was.
Exactly.
Like every episode was a different book.
But they try to put all these things into one, where basically the story is, it's like meta.
Right.
That R.L. Stine is a author in the movie.
Right.
And then his books are coming back to life, so you get all the greatest hits of all of them.
Sure.
So it's just, it's not great.
Yeah.
And they didn't use the Goosebumps theme, which was a huge missed opportunity. Dun 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 dun.
Right.
Ooh.
That's really good.
The golden retriever,
right?
Remember with the eyes glowing green?
Yep.
That always used to scare the shit out of me.
The calmest haunted golden retriever ever.
Yeah. Dun, dun,
they did do a new show where it came out like a year or two ago. It's on Disney, and it's Goosebumps. It's completely original, but it centers around Slappy. Like he ends up being the antagonist.
Mm-hmm.
But like there's no R.L. Stine. It's not meta. I don't even think like the movies where Goosebumps exists in the world, it doesn't exist in the new TV show. And it wasn't bad. I watched it. It's cool.
With Justin Long, right?
Yeah, he's in it. There we go.
I think I watched the first episode, and one of the protagonists the entire time I'm thinking, wait a minute. is this supposed to be a boy? But it's really a girl. Because the entire time they're calling this person a boy, and it's like, oh, it's a boy
I don't remember.
doing boy things, and I'm watching it, and I'm like, I don't think that's a boy.
I know there's a gay kid in the cast.
Maybe that's what it is.
maybe.
That's what I
I
couldn't
don't know.
figure it out. It's just like a really effeminate boy,
Right.
or is this actually a girl?
Nothing scarier than that.
That's
so
transitioned. Yeah, yeah,
happy Halloween.
yeah. But yeah, I'll give it a try. But yeah, Slappy always scared me.
Yeah.
And growing up watching the Goosebumps, Slappy.
I wasn't too scared of him. It's
Yeah.
like it's like Chucky. Like
Yeah,
just get a bat.
I know.
Like I mean I know, you know, like with Chucky he probably has like the proportionate strength of a man. So like
Kind of,
maybe that makes
yeah.
him a little bit more frightening.
Well, the thing about Chucky was that he was sneaky, and he would set up traps. He's
That's true.
small. He could sneak around. He can hide.
But
and
he has
then lure
plastic
people.
feet. Wouldn't you hear him like snooping around? You
Yeah.
could tiptoe as much as you want. You're still gonna hear clap, 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 clap.
Yeah, for me, it's the aesthetic of the dolls that's creepy. It's just
Like the constant smile.
yeah, it's
that's true.
off-putting.
That's true.
But yeah, Goosebumps was pretty cool. I never watched Are You Afraid of the Dark? I never.
Oh,
watched
I
it.
loved that.
I never
growing
watched
up.
that. Yeah, that was a
I-
Canadian show.
Yeah. I loved that one growing up.
Mm-hmm.
There was this one episode with a jester that I think about to this day.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even remember like the plot points of the episode, but like one horrifying thing that sits with me is like the main kid is trying to get away. It's daytime. He gets on a school bus. He sits in the back, and he's talking to the driver, and the bus isn't moving, and he's like yelling at the driver. And the driver's head just does the whole 180,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like oozing this green shit, and the jester shows up next to him. And then I don't remember what else happened because I probably went into shock at like 3, 4, 5 years old.
Mm-hmm. That does sound scary.
Hell yeah. Do you remember do you remember any like standout Goosebumps episodes that you enjoyed?
I'm trying to rack my brain.
Did you read them too, or
I read, I think, the Swamp Thing.
oh, the swamp one was cool.
I think I read that one. There's at least a couple I read.
I like when they would do like the sequels. Like there was one Monster Blood. There ended up being like 3 or 4 of those, and it was just like this ooze that would, I guess, take over
Oh yeah,
and shit like that. Say Cheese and Die. They did 2 or 3 of
I
those.
read that one. Yeah,
That one creeped me out.
but that song's a banger, dude.
Hell yeah.
Bum 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 bum. Boom, boom. Bum 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 bum. You're in for a scare. Yeah, I love horror anthology stuff. Did you ever watch Tales from the Crypt?
A little bit. A
It
little
was
bit.
a good show.
Not really enough to like remember too much outside of the Crypt Keeper,
Yeah.
Nancy Pelosi. That was his name, right? But yeah, no, not too much. Anthologies are pretty cool. You know, you get a bunch of little short stories that are pretty fucked up. That one series of movie VHS.
Oh yeah, I loved VHS.
Yeah, there's like 4 or 5 of those. I think I've seen the first 2 or 3, but those are pretty cool. Where it's all like little mini horror stories and stuff, all pretty fucked up in their own way.
Mm-hmm.
Guillermo del Toro, his thing on Netflix.
Cabinet of Curiosities. I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that one was cool, but I think he was also involved with Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. And that's another one
Oh,
that's like an
yeah.
anthology.
That was good. That was kind of the same premise as the Goosebumps movie,
Yeah.
where it's like these stories are all coming to life in one movie. So
Right.
You get, but they did it a lot better than Goosebumps. I think it was more serious. Those books I read growing up, and that shit scared me.
I didn't
a
read
lot.
those.
You never read them?
No.
Yeah, it was just so weird. And
Yeah.
grotesque. I'm watching it, or reading it with my mom, and it was just very unsettling. There's the whole thing with some kid finds a toe like out in the field, and he like picks it up and then brings it home. And
As
he's
you
like-
do.
As you do. And he's like, "Mom, I got this toe." And he's like, "Oh, I guess we're all right. Well, I guess we're gonna eat it tonight." And that was, and then I don't know, some ghost or monster comes and is like, "That's my
Tries to get his
toe."
fucking toe back.
Yeah, but I'm reading this and I'm questioning, well, why would he bring it back
Right.
for dinner? Like this
Mm-hmm.
is whole thing's bizarre. I don't know. Maybe it took place during the Depression,
Mm,
and they needed something to eat. So,
that's true.
but yeah, very weird folk stories.
Mm.
Um, yeah,
Horror is a big umbrella. There's a lot that
yeah,
goes under it. Yeah.
yeah. It really is.
If you could make a horror movie, what lane do you think you're picking?
Um, it's a good question. Maybe like to do a whodunit
Oh,
in the vein of Scream, like a slasher kind of whodunit.
that's kind of cool.
You
Yeah,
know?
whodunits are fun.
Yeah, definitely kind of like a slasher. I've always thought.
I don't think I'm
Yeah.
smart enough to write a whodunit.
Yeah, it'd have to be really clever.
Right, which I'm not.
Yeah,
I'll sit there and watch the dumbest plots and be like, "Wow, I didn't see that coming."
yeah.
I'm horrible with shit like that.
I mean, yeah, there hasn't really been a clever whodunit since Scream.
Yeah, because Wes Craven's
Mm.
dead.
Yeah, somebody's gotta
You know,
take up the mantle.
Scream 4 was great, and then 5 and 6 were like, "This is fun to watch,
Yeah,
but it's not good."
yeah. What about you? What kind of horror movie would you make?
I would probably just go traditional slasher,
Yeah.
like a Friday the 13th or a Halloween, something where it's like not a lot of thinking here.
Mm-hmm.
Just run away from the boogeyman.
You know, now that you bring it up, I always want to do kind of like a cult, or not like cult following type of a movie about a cult. So kind of a mix of just a real person or real organization behind something
Okay,
mixed with supernatural elements.
that's cool.
I think that would be interesting. It's like some sort of conspiracy involving a cult.
Nice.
And it's very shadowy, very mysterious,
Mm.
and there's someone trying to figure it out, get to the bottom of it, something like that. I like those types of movies. Those are the kind of movies, horror movies, that I want to watch. Like Long Legs is kind of like that.
That's
Or,
like culty.
Yeah, a little bit. And not really a horror movie, but Prisoners with Jake Gyllenhaal, if you ever saw that.
Oh, I love that movie.
Yeah, more of a thriller, I guess,
Yeah.
but kind of similar, you know.
Yeah. Not a fan of the ending.
No, why not?
I don't like having to come up with the ending.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I paid you to tell me a story. Tell me the story.
Finish it.
Right. Like, tell me. I've already, I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
When you make me come up with the ending, it's like, well, where's the fun in that? Like, I don't know.
How would you have liked it to end?
Any way other than me having to come up with, like, oh, okay, so it ends with, the dude's in the hole and
Right.
and you're kind of led to believe that Jake Gyllenhaal hears him.
Yeah.
But then they've had like a rough go this whole movie. So like Jake Gyllenhaal, like you almost feel like he hears it and he's like, fuck that guy.
Yeah.
And he just keeps it moving. But like, I don't know. What I don't get is he's a cop. Gyllenhaal's a cop. And to a certain extent, you kind of have to understand Hugh Jackman being as animated as he is throughout that movie. His daughter was kidnapped.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, just because he's a jerk off to you, you're going to let him die in a hole because you guys got into shouting matches while he's trying to find his kidnapped daughter.
No, I don't think that was his mentality.
I hope not. But see, that's the shitty ending I come up with when they don't give me an ending.
Well, I think they cut it to where,
because you kind of get the sense that he hears them.
This is what happens from my memory. He does the whistle, Jake hears it, and then kind of blows it off, and then he does the whistle again, and he hears it, and then it cuts. It doesn't cut to where he blows it off. He's like, oh, whatever.
Yeah.
Or so I don't know. It could have ended where he hears him, and then he digs him up, and then it's yay, happy ending.
And then they get into a fight because they don't like each other.
Yeah. or he just blows it off and walks away, and then it ends, and that's more, dark and
Sure.
dreary. So I would have. I like how it ends. If it had to end the other two ways, I would say, where he just kind of leaves and then he's just stuck there to die. Only
Yeah.
because it's just
It's the
it's a
more
dark
yeah,
movie.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's the
it's
more
more
fucked up
it's
ending.
more effective.
Right.
But yeah, I thought it was good.
What do you think the purpose of, or what do you think the purpose is of ending a movie like that? Like making the choice to not end it, like leaving it open like that.
Just keeping the audience wanting more. It just stays with you more. So so
I mean, we are talking about it 10
so
years
we're
later.
talking exactly to the effect that we're talking about it. What do you think happened?
Right.
That's the purpose.
Yeah, but plenty of people talk about movies with endings, right?
Like, not as much.
Like, you know what movie ended? Starship Troopers. I'll talk about that movie until your eyes bleed.
Yeah.
That movie ended.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm just being bitter.
No, I understand. I see where you're coming from.
I nitpick weird things with movies, man.
What's another nitpick?
I don't know. I mean, I can't really, remember too many, but I know I'll just be sitting there and an otherwise really good movie will just have something just kind of goofy in it, and I'll just sit there and just stew on it.
I see.
I don't know. Weird. But, who am I?
Mm-hmm.
I ain't out there making no movies. Shut the fuck up, Matt.
I don't know. Yeah, I think your opinion's valid.
No, thanks. Okay. Thanks, Dad.
I hear you. I hear you, champ. I hear you.
In this home, you're heard and validated. And accepted.
Yeah. I don't know. What's another horror movie you like? Let's just keep it horror.
I don't know. Trying to think. I don't really think I've seen too many.
Not a huge horror guy.
I mean, I don't know. I am, but I feel like the ones that everybody knows are, like, oh, okay, everybody knows that one.
The Shining. Have you seen The Shining?
No.
Oh, well, there you go. You need to see The Shining.
Right.
We need to watch that.
Yeah. Never seen The Shining. I've seen Pet Sematary.
That's a good one.
The only thing I remember about it is the end where, I don't even remember which spouse dies. It's the husband or the wife that comes back at the end.
Talking about the oldest one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The wife comes back.
Right.
Yeah.
So I remember she comes back. She kisses the husband. And the only part of that movie that sticks with me is there's a bubble on her face that pops right before they kiss. Mm-hmm. And it oozes right onto their lips as they kiss.
Oh, yeah.
And that sticks with me.
Yeah.
Don't remember anything else about that. I mean, you remember they bury the cat comes back, the kid, all this insanity.
Yeah.
But that is what sticks with me.
That was the first movie I think I saw where a kid dies.
Yeah, that was pretty gnarly. 18-wheeler, right?
Yeah.
Just flatline that little boy.
Yeah, it was pretty shocking.
I did see the new one. I saw it in theaters.
Was it any good? I had no interest in it.
See, that's another thing where I don't think it was a bad movie. I was sober when I saw it, and I couldn't tell you a single thing that happens.
Mm-hmm.
I watched it, don't remember anything. So, couldn't have been that good.
It's the worst, a movie you don't even remember.
Ugh.
It's like, it's not bad enough or good enough to remember.
Right, because I remember bad movies. Yeah. Sure. Remember good movies. But a mid movie?
Yeah.
That's got to be damaging to the director's ego.
Yeah.
To make a mid movie?
Uh-huh.
Damn.
Yeah.
What about you? What are you into, man?
Yeah, I like all kinds of horror movies. But yeah, like I said, most of them are trash, so. And on these apps like Shudder and especially Shudder, it's all just like terrible B movies.
Mm-hmm. I mean, but sometimes the B stuff is really good.
Yeah, occasionally, if you're lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I like movies kind of like Hereditary. Going back to like cult things, like cults being behind the drama. Yeah, I do like slow burn, like tension building type horror movies the
Yeah.
most. Yeah, those are my like The Witch. Have you seen The Witch?
No, not yet.
That's similar to Hereditary in the way that it builds up dread.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like stuff like that where like the movies feel evil, you know,
Mhm.
not like kind of like just jump scare after jump scare and
Yeah, jump scares are corny.
like these PG-13 Blumhouse movies.
Ugh,
They're just awful.
right.
Yeah,
Jump scares just feel tacky. Feels
Yeah.
like a cop out.
yeah.
It's a quick scare.
Mm-hmm.
It's stupid.
Yeah, it's ruining horror movies. You know what else? Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say like they used to be reserved for the end of the movie because it was a gimmick. It was like a fun little throwaway. Like, okay, the movie's over, the bad guy's dead. No, he's not.
Right.
Boo, and then credits, and then you're
Right.
just like, oh, that was so funny how that scared us in the moment.
Yeah.
And then now movies are just full of it.
Right.
So that's kind of annoying.
Yeah, it's kind of ruining horror movies. Another thing that ruins horror movies these days, I've noticed, is it won't necessarily be a jump scare, but it'll be a scare, whatever. The character seeing a ghost or something. Like I think of like The Conjuring or something, where something's being revealed, something supposedly frightening, but they always tack on a spooky noise. Not necessarily a jump scare where it's like a I don't know, like a piano or like a violin string or something like that, or it's just like they'll just add a spooky noise.
What, like a scream?
Not a scream necessarily, just like a spooky couple notes or something.
On a mandolin?
I don't know the instrument, Matt. I'm just saying it's like they make a noise and it's supposed to be scary,
Right.
And it's supposed to go with the scary thing that's on the screen.
Hmm.
They do it a lot. I think of like The Conjuring. She's looking at this like mirror thing, and then there's like a ghost that's reflected on the mirror, and then it makes like a shh, like a shing kind of noise or something. I don't know. I don't know. It makes a noise, and it just would have been way better if they just had no noise at all.
Sure.
That's why I go back to like movies where they make you kind of sit with the scare.
Yeah,
Like sometimes silence is just the better option.
That's the scariest thing.
Yeah, but when you put like this noise, it kind of takes you out of the scene.
It's almost like that makes up for the scare.
Right.
Because it's the surprise of hearing nothing and then the noise. Like it's like the noise scares you, not the thing, because the thing's not scary.
Right.
Stupid.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a lot of those like possession movies. Not that I'm not into them. I just never got into them.
Yeah. Well, yeah. A lot of them are just samey.
Yeah.
A lot of them are, pretty mid. I do like that genre though. I'm a sucker for good possession. Those types of movies do scare me.
Like the Exorcist and stuff.
Yeah, like demon possession stuff.
Sure.
I don't know if I necessarily believe in that in real life, but just the idea of a supernatural entity that you can't really see possessing your body,
right,
and you have no control.
That is pretty scary.
Like, yeah,
on paper for sure.
But in practice, there's been a good. Obviously, The Exorcist, sure, but I'm trying to think. The Exorcism of Emily Rose was really creepy. I don't know if you ever saw that one.
No, I didn't see that one.
I highly recommend that one. That's a good one. Just yeah, a lot of very unsettling possession scenes. She's contorting her body in all sorts of crazy ways.
Oof.
Then they speak in that demon tone. Yeah.
Right.
That gets me every time.
Do you think when she comes out of it, she feels like better? Like, Jesus Christ, like, I was in a coma. Did you guys get a chiropractor in here? I feel great.
Right. Yeah.
I can imagine.
I'm so limber now.
Right. Like she wakes up, she's like swinging her arms around. Like, this is awesome. I didn't know I was double jointed.
Yeah. My
Satan
range
broke your elbows.
Yeah. My range of mobility is skyrocketing.
Right.
Well, now this is a segment where Matt and I, we scroll through HBO Max and we talk shit about the horror movies there, or we glaze some of them. We'll see.
For sure.
HBO's usually pretty good.
Yeah, I feel like HBO has a lot of good stuff on there.
Pretty
I mean, a lot of
quality.
dog shit too, but a lot of good stuff.
Yeah. So let's start with this. Ghost Story. Never seen it. You?
Nah.
All right, moving on. Aliens. I mean, what more can we say about it?
Jimmy Cameron, man.
Jimmy Cameron nailed it. Anaconda.
I watched that years ago. I haven't seen it in a really long time.
Fun movie, fun movie. Creature feature, you know.
Creature features are really rad.
Yeah, especially like those '90s, early 2000s,
Oh
where
yeah.
they still used animatronics and
Yeah, yeah,
not
yeah.
like awful CGI and shit.
Word.
Beetlejuice, the first
Classic.
classic. Black Christmas. This was, I think, the third remake, and I didn't see it, and I heard it was like dumb feminist woke power shit,
Hmm.
so I didn't bother with it.
So obviously that's the best movie on the platform. I mean, I did see a trailer for this thing, the one that's under aliens. That it looks really interesting, but I don't know. I mean,
Caddo Lake.
yeah, I think I figured out the twist already
Mm,
just off the trailer. And if I can figure it out early, it's probably a bad sign,
yeah.
but it looks rad.
When an 8-year-old girl disappears on Caddo Lake, a series of past deaths and disappearances begin to link together. It's 3 minutes long. Oh, it's a trailer.
Yeah, the trailer.
I was like, oh, a cool
Like-
little short movie.
Like
HBO
Matt, you
Max.
figured it out because you watched it.
Yeah. Interesting. Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. Did you see that?
No interest.
Why not? Because Pete Davidson.
I saw the trailer and it was like, ugh, this just looks like just a shitty horror movie / Pete Davidson.
That's what I thought too. And then I saw some good reviews, and I was like, all right, let me give it a chance. And the first 10 minutes, I was ready to turn it off.
Right.
But it gets interesting.
I did want to see his one movie, The King of Staten Island.
Mm-hmm.
But I think like Bill Burr directed that or something. So there was like solid people around the project. I'm not too thrilled with him.
I'm
Like,
not a big Pete guy.
Yeah, he doesn't really do it for me.
I don't hate him, but Candyman 3 and Candyman 2. Didn't see those. Candyman 1 though.
Never
Great
seen
movie.
it.
See, we need to watch some more.
Yeah. Didn't they just remake it?
And it wasn't bad, I thought. Yeah, Jordan Peele produced it.
Nice.
I liked it. It got some bad reviews, but it wasn't as bad as I thought. But Candyman, the original from the '90s, is where it's at. I have the Blu-ray if you want to borrow it.
Nice.
Let's see. what we
Doctor
got.
Sleep I heard was really good. I wanted to see it, but I never saw The Shining, so
It is really good.
good sequel.
Yeah, you should see The Shining. You don't need to necessarily for this movie, but you should just see The Shining in general. But yeah, Doctor Sleep is good. Totally different tone than The Shining.
Yeah.
But it supposedly follows Stephen King's book pretty closely. I don't know because
I hear that was
don't
one of
read
the
books.
I hear that was one of the complaints about the Nicholson Shining.
Yeah.
Stephen King didn't like the movie, and then I think Spielberg made a TV miniseries that was closer
Right.
to the book, and Spielberg loved it. I mean, King. Stephen King liked it a lot better because it was closer to the book.
But to me and most people, the movie that followed the book more wasn't as good.
I mean, maybe that just goes to speak more about Stephen King than it does the movie.
Yeah, not to talk shit on King, but I don't know. I thought Kubrick's was a masterpiece.
Yeah.
But anyways, let's go. Foreign.
Eraserhead. I've heard of that movie.
That's a David Lynch movie. That's a very disturbing movie about a guy who's becoming a father, and he has like these nightmarish hallucinations about being a father, and they're very grotesque. But
I mean, everybody knows it's hard for men to be fathers.
Yeah,
some would say it's harder for men than it is for women to be parents, and I'm one of those people.
Yeah. Yeah, I think my father would agree. But we're not going to talk about that, all right? Erase. Yeah, highly recommend. Very surreal.
Evil
movie.
Dead. I want to marathon all those movies.
Oh, we should. Yeah, we should watch The Evil Dead.
I saw the OG one right after high school. It was like the summer I graduated. I remember enjoying it, but I didn't see any of the other ones.
That's the best one.
The OG?
I think.
Yeah.
I think they're all good, but it peaks at the first one, I think.
Nice.
Evil Dead 2 is like a quasi remake of Evil Dead. They kind of rewrite the story a little. It's bigger budget with, I guess, arguably better effects.
Yeah.
But it doesn't capture the manic energy.
I had heard, like, I don't know how much truth there is to it, but I had heard that by the time the third one rolled around, it became meta in the 80s, where people were clowning on the first two so much that Raimi was like, fuck it, we're making the third one a comedy.
I didn't realize. It definitely did make it a straight up comedy. And I like that one.
Yeah.
Army of Darkness. That's a great one. Yeah, we'll watch that. Dream Scenario is good. What's your boy, Nick Cage?
Oh, my birthday buddy, my birthday twin.
Not really a horror, more of like a, I don't even know what it, kind of like a fantasy drama, but basically he's a professor who feels like he's wasted life, and basically, strangely, people keep coming up to him saying that they see him in their dreams, and he's just trying to figure out why. And I guess you don't really figure out why, but it's a cool concept. Yeah. It's got some creepy moments, but not a horror movie. So HBO, get your shit together.
I've heard a lot of good things about that one, Evil Dead Rise.
I didn't like it.
Really?
Yeah, the remake, the initial remake was better. Evil Dead Rise, it's fine, but not great. I don't know.
What else?
I couldn't tell you why.
There's that Friday the 13th movie we were talking about. Let's see what year that was in.
09, I bet. Yep.
Wow. You win.
I'm like autistic when it comes to years and shit.
Nice. Yeah, when was the War of 1812?
You got me.
Yeah, not so good anymore.
You got me. Now, this is one of my favorite horror movies of all time. Fright Night. Yeah, 1980. Wait, don't tell me 1980.
Keep your eyes closed. Close them tighter.
81?
5.
Fuck. All right. I'm not that autistic. But, yeah, a teen suspects his next-door neighbor is a vampire in this savvy horror comedy.
Horror comedy. That, you got to be real talented to make either one of those genres good. And when you have the stones to blend them.
Yeah. And pull it off.
Yeah.
They do.
That's why Raimi's the god. That's why Wes Craven's the god. That's why whoever directed Cabin in the Woods is a god.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, to me, Jesus Christ is the one and only God. But
I mean, was that not the best horror comedy you've ever seen?
I already forgot which one we're talking about.
Jesus Christ.
No.
The story of Jesus. I mean,
Passion of the Christ.
That's a horror. And then 3 days later, he's like, slide whistle. I'm back. That's a horror comedy right there, buddy.
That is hilarious. But yeah, Fright Night, I do recommend. Good special effects too, practical effects. Didn't see this. Maybe saw it. Didn't see that.
Is that J-Law?
That's J-Law.
Good for her.
I like J-Law.
She's good whenever she's not in an X-Men movie.
I believe it.
Those movies with her sucked.
Insidious Chapter 3, I think might have been the best Insidious in my opinion.
I've heard those are good. Never seen Insidious.
They're fun. They're jump scare heavy for sure, but they do it well.
I liked the new It movies. I thought those were cool.
Yes, I thought the It movies were good. Little too much CGI, in my opinion. Like towards the end, like where he's that giant spider.
Sure.
At a certain point, it's just like I feel like I'm watching a video game.
That makes sense.
I'm not scared anymore. This is just
Krampus was fun. Did you see Krampus?
Krampus was fun. I did see that.
That's a fun one where there's a lot of funny people in that movie, and it's not funny.
No, not really.
Like kind of how we were just talking about horror comedy, but that one is stacked top to bottom with comedic actors, and it's not like it's a straight up horror movie.
Yeah, it's pretty creepy. It's PG-13. They should have went all out with the R. Yeah, PG-13, but it's good. I've seen it a couple
Malignant.
times.
I've been meaning to watch that. I've heard that's really good.
Yeah, that's
James Wan.
Yeah, that's a movie that's got a crazy twist towards the end. It's like
cool.
Because first, I don't know, it seems kind of like a basic bitch horror movie, and then there's a twist, and like, oh, that's what's happening, and then it ramps up.
That's something I've been interested in. Maxine, that trilogy, Pearl X and Maxine,
they're good.
I haven't been able to find all 3 of them on streaming. It's always like one of them streaming, 2 of them are streaming. It's never all 3 because I would bang all 3 of those out in one day.
They're good. I thought X was a little overrated. I don't know. It's just a basic slasher movie. It's well done, but it's not. People were just raving and ranting on it, and I just thought it was fine.
Right.
And then Pearl is a prequel where it goes into who the killer was in X and goes into her backstory, which I thought was better. I thought it was more interesting. Not really a slasher.
What's that girl's name? Mia Goth?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Mia Goth.
Yeah. She's good.
She is good.
Men.
This movie was really good. I avoided it for a while because I thought this was going to be some sort of like feminist. I don't know.
It's a horror movie called Men.
And it kind of is maybe a little bit, but not really actually. It's very interesting. It's got a lot of crazy body horror stuff. But basically, she's a very traumatized woman whose husband, I guess, committed suicide or something bad happened to him,
Mm.
and then she decides to take just a break from life and go out to this like resort in Ireland or something,
Oh,
and
she's earned it.
maybe not Ireland. I don't know. I don't remember where, but like some sort of countryside place in Europe, and then she's seeing basically all the townsfolk have the same face, more or less,
Mm.
and she's being terrorized by
That's interesting.
different people. Yeah, it's really good. I enjoyed it a lot. Midsommar, good, good movie.
Mm.
I had a didn't have a great theater experience. It was one of those where I just had this fucking guy in his mid-50s just laugh at every death scene, like super loud, like not the kind of like the kind of laugh where he thought like I'm better than this, like I'm above this, like this, like wasn't that funny? Oh,
Oh God.
he just jumped off a cliff and his face smashed into a rock.
See, I watched that at home, and it was during that movie when I found out, when I suspected that I had COVID for the first time.
Oh,
It was October of 2020, and I bit into a Baconator halfway through the movie and didn't taste it.
oh, that's awful.
So I don't know what scared me more.
Yeah, that is pretty scary because Baconators are awesome.
And not being able to taste it, that's a fucking nightmare.
That's tragic. Night of the Living Dead, OG.
Classic.
You saw the OG one?
I believe so, yeah.
Pretty horrific for a movie. Came out in 1968. Yes.
Wow.
1968. Yeah. Especially the scene where the kid.
Is that Romero?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
This is where the kid like stabs her mother with that little hand shovel.
Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, man.
Yeah, it's pretty horrific though. Open Water. I saw that in theaters. You know, kind of boring at the time, but also pretty scary to be stranded out in open water with
I feel like
sharks.
shark movies in general are kind of like you've seen one, you've seen them all, right?
This is different though. It's not like the sharks aren't the main feature. It's really the characters just being lost out at sea and then just bickering back and forth, and then they get eaten by a shark at the end. And it's not like Jaws or Deep Blue Sea or anything like that. There is one scene in the beginning where before they go out into the water, they're at this hotel and you just see like full frontal tits.
Hmm.
And I was in theaters with my
Of the
mom
shark?
of the shark's tits. Yeah,
Nice.
no, of the lady, and I just went, oh, like out loud, like because, and my mom immediately closed my eyes, but everyone in the theater laughed because it was very shocking, and I was a kid and I was not supposed to be looking at tits.
Right.
Anyways, Paranormal Activity 1, 2, and 3, and 4,
four.
and 5.
Oh,
Oh wow,
God.
I
I think I've only seen the first one.
they're fun. They're pretty effective. I gotta be honest. Found footage horror movies, something about them. Like
Hmm.
I don't know, it's pretty. I don't know if it's tacky. Maybe it is, but I don't know. They're effective to me. They're pretty scary. Yeah, not much to say about those. Pet Cemetery, classic. Pet Cemetery 2, Pet Cemeterier.
Hmm.
That's the kid from Terminator 2.
Really? That's Edward Furlong?
That's Edward Furlong, yeah.
Whoa.
It's not bad in the sequel from what I remember.
It's a Poltergeist too.
Didn't see it.
Whoa. Oh, see, okay. This is where I am a Jesus, they made a 3? I didn't know they made Poltergeist 3.
Mm-hmm.
Salem's Lot. That's pretty cool. That's the vampire Stephen King, right?
This is the newest one. It's not out yet. It's coming soon.
No, but I mean like the story, the book, I think that was about vampires. That was Stephen King writing vampires.
Right, yeah.
See,
Yeah.
this is where I'm a basic bitch. Saw. There we go. I love those.
They're fun.
I love them. I was there. I think I started going to the theaters to see them starting with 3. And me and my best friend were at the theaters every year through like 7.
Mm-hmm.
And it was great. We ate it up. I mean, and I fully agree with how corny they are and how like over the top the plot twist would need to be in every movie, and how dramatic and like just overall corny it was. But basic bitch, I'm here for it.
No, they're fun. Like
I love them.
There's always that twist at the end.
Yeah,
where there's some character or two characters that's behind it the whole time.
And it somehow connects to all the other stuff. Like
Right.
the old dude is dead for more movies than he's alive,
Right.
but he's still directly involved with all of it.
Yeah.
It's
No,
so stupid. It's so corny, but I love it.
no, they're fun.
I love it.
They got all the screams, all
All the good ones.
the good ones. Yeah.
1 through 4, all the good ones.
I mean, we've talked ad nauseum about that, so I'm not gonna get into it. But
I
yeah,
love that poster for 4.
Yeah, isn't that dope? Where they make
The mask is the knife. That is so fucking rad.
That is dope. And they make the 4 the A and Scream. That's very clever.
Yeah.
Very clever. Sinister. That's a good one.
Oh,
You see that one?
No, but
that's
I've heard that that's the better of like that popular haunting movie that would come out around that time, like the early 2010s.
I would say so.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty creepy.
There's only 2 of those, I think.
Yeah, I wouldn't bother with the second one, but the first one was good.
Because like Conjuring, you got to watch 7 of them.
Right.
There's like 5 or 6 of them.
Oh, the first one's good. He finds all these Super 8mm tapes in his attic. And they're all snuff films.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And they're very creepy. Splice was a great movie.
I think I've seen bits and pieces of that when I was a kid.
Yeah, they somehow create this I don't know, altered.
Oh, so I'm thinking of a different movie.
It's a
then,
human
'cause that's
animal
2009.
hybrid. Geneticists create a human animal hybrid that quickly grows out of their control.
Who's in this?
What's his name?
Adrian Brody.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good movie. Yeah, very a lot of like body horror stuff, a lot of weird sexual stuff. The Amityville Horrors, both good. The remake and the original. They're good, solid demon possessed house movies. Not much to say about that.
I've heard a lot of good things about that. I love Neve Campbell.
Neve Campbell, yeah, never watched it.
Me neither. I know a lot of girls I went to high school with who treated guys like shit are into that movie.
Yeah, yeah. It's one of those. Exorcist, OG.
The dead don't die. I mean, duh. I guess. Final Destination. Those were fun. The first 3. After that, it just became like gore porn for no reason.
This is the one that's bad. This is the 4th one.
The Final.
And then they made Final Destination 5 after the Final Destination because it was trash.
Right. Lighthouse, I've been meaning to see.
I don't know if you'd like it.
No?
I didn't like it. I didn't hate it, but it's just not my cup of tea. Too meandering, too...
What does that word mean?
It just kind of doesn't... It's like not really going anywhere, it seems. It kind of is, but I don't know. It's kind of... I don't know. It's very abstract.
Is this just like basically a darker version of the honeymoon? Not the honeymooners, the Odd Couple. It's just 2 guys, two guys stuck in a lighthouse together, and they're like, "I can't live with you anymore."
Kind of. It's about them going crazy in their isolation, but I don't know. It was a little much for me. I didn't. I might have to give it another shot. The Shining, classic. The Strangers,
such a good movie.
Classic. The Strangers.
Yeah. I saw that in theaters.
I think I might have. No, I didn't. I saw it on DVD.
They just remade that. Is that the remake, or is that like a shitty sequel? The one next to it. Pray at Night.
Oh, that's a. I wouldn't say it's shitty. Pray at Night. It's actually pretty good. It's just not as creepy as the first one, but
dude, yeah, it was creepy.
It's got some good parts in it. The protagonists fight back more in it, which is cool. But it's definitely not as creepy. The Visit was an M. Night Shyamalan movie, one of his comeback movies. Pretty good.
He directed it.
It's kind of like found footage in a way.
Cool.
The Watchers. I haven't seen that.
Gotta watch that. The Vivitch
is.
I definitely want to watch that. I've heard that's.
We're gonna watch that. We should do a review on it.
Sure.
It's very, very creepy. It's like 17th century, like early a colonization of America, where these people get like outcasted from their village, and then they go out to live in the woods, and a demon is basically terrorizing them. Corpse Bride, I haven't seen this since I was a kid, but pretty good. Trick or Treat, speaking of anthology horror movies, that is one of the best ones. It's kind of an anthology horror.
Never seen it.
But they all the stories are connected, so they tie in together, so it's different. But it's good. It's a good, fun, creepy horror movie. Let's see.
Vampire.
And see, the Urban Legend was pretty good. It was like one of those Scream knockoff movies.
Oh, okay. Is that Paul Walker? Is that Michael Fassbender?
No, it's none of those people. Yeah, Urban Legend. Yeah, one of those Scream knockoffs. One of those things where, yeah, it's like a whodunit slasher, and then it turns out to be the most unlikely person, only because it turns out to be like a small framed girl played by who is it? Spoiler alert, but yeah, Urban Legend. What's her name again? Rebecca Gayheart. Remember her?
No.
Anyways, the killer turns out to be her, but the entire time you're watching it, the killer's like a 6 foot plus, like 200-pound dude, and then but it's her the whole time.
Stupid.
It makes no sense. Yeah.
Victor Frankenstein. I didn't think that movie came out.
What do you mean?
Like I remember hearing about it, and then I just kind of thought it went into like developmental hell.
It came out 9 years ago.
I guess it was that good.
Yeah, I didn't see it.
Harry Potter and James McAvoy. James McAvoy, you're better than that. What are you doing?
All right. Well, so out of all these movies on Max, we'll go through them again. Let's see what we recommend. Aliens, number
Absolutely.
1. Anaconda, number 2. And these are in no particular. I'm just scrolling down.
Right. It's just the order that they're listed in.
Exactly. So Aliens 1, Anaconda 2, Beetlejuice Shore 3, Doctor Sleep 4 for sure. I'm not gonna count Dream Scenario. Evil Dead 5. Never saw Firestarter, did you?
Nah.
Friday the 13th, the remake 6. Fright Night 7 for sure. Definitely go see Fright Night. Insidious Chapter 3 is good. Number 8. I don't even know what number I'm on. Whatever, doesn't matter. Krampus.
Krampus.
Oh, it's good
for sure. It 1 and 2.
Malignant, sure. Yeah, but 2's not on.
No.
Men, highly recommend. Very creepy. Midsommar.
Night of the Living Dead.
Paranormal Activity, I would recommend. Maybe up to 3. Pet Sematary, the OG. Saw, you know what they are.
I would recommend every single one of those.
I don't know about that, but
watch them twice. I love those fucking movies. Those dumb, stupid fucking movies.
Fair enough. Scream 1 to 4.
Yeah,
all of
them.
Sure. Great.
Conveniently, they only have the good ones on here. That's so
convenient. Rad. Yeah, so you don't have to get confused on which one's a good one. Sinister, recommend.
Nice.
Splice, recommend. Both Amityville Horrors, recommend. Nope. Exorcist,
the Blob, the original. Ooh.
Did I forget the? Oh yeah, I didn't see the. Yeah, the '80s Blob is where it's at. Yeah. I'm not gonna bother with the '50s.
Is that the Blob. One where it? For lack of better description, it's a literal blob, but it like eats like people's skin or some shit. Like it's like acidic. It's like eating people.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah,
it's like a gooey blob thing.
Rad. What is it? An alien?
Yeah, it's like an alien.
It's physical COVID.
Yeah. Something to actually be worried about. The Shining,
The Strangers.
Strangers 1 and 2. The Visit's good.
The Visit.
The Witch for sure.
Yeah, we gotta watch that. We gotta watch The Watchers.
If you're a horror fan, you gotta watch The Witch.
Yeah.
We'll watch The Watchers.
Watchers.
Trick or Treat. Trick or Treat. Highly recommend. We didn't talk about this, but Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me. Probably should watch the show.
Is that the name? Like, so it was a movie then a show, or a show then a movie?
It was a show then a movie.
Okay, so this is after the show.
Yeah, but it's also kind of a prequel.
Gotcha. Okay.
I actually honestly don't, because there's 2 seasons initially of Twin Peaks.
That's it?
Well, there's 3, but the third came out like 20 years later.
Right.
But there's the 2 seasons, and then I don't know if Fire Walk with Me, the movie, came out after season 2 or between 1 and 2.
Gotcha.
I don't know, but you should just check out Twin Peaks in general.
Nice.
Urban Legend, it's fine.
Dracula 2000.
That was fun. It's a fun.
How old were you in 2000?
3.
Oh, damn. So you don't remember the trend of like almost every movie that came out that year having the subtitle
I remember.
2000.
Pokemon 2000, I remember.
Everything was 2000. It was so rad. I mean, it was cool in the moment.
Big deal. Yeah, 2000.
And then I look back on it and I'm like, did you Did Hollywood think we forgot what fucking year it was?
Yeah. Pretty corny. It's a cool number though.
Yeah, it is pretty cool though. Dracula 2 Ascension, Dracula 3 Legacy. Wow.
But yeah, that's where my recommendations stop. So there you have it. There's Matt and Phil's recommendation.
Mostly Phil.
Mostly mine. I mean, did you agree with most of whatever you didn't agree with, you probably just haven't seen.
I mean, that's true. Yeah. I haven't seen a lot of these, so I definitely got to get on that.
Well, there you have it. That's what you should watch if you have HBO Max. And if you don't, well, go fuck yourself.
Hashtag non-spawn, but
yeah, go watch Tubi or something. I don't know.
Right. Have fun with commercials.
Yeah.
You fucking losers.
Yeah. My lighter. God damn it. No.
Well, that's it.
Well, that's it. I think we nailed it. Another fucking classic episode of Man.
Another Emmy-nominated episode.
We'll see. If they know what's good for them.
Hell yeah.
All right.
See y'all's next time.